96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by BTC, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, the Cleveland Clinic, Dunkin' Donuts, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's Island Games, Rise Bahamas, Scotiabank, Tropical Gyros, and the Water and Sewage Corporation.
And good afternoon and welcome to Talking Heads with Naughty. This is Pearly for the third and final day of the week. I'm here with you. I had fun. I hope you had a good time having me here. I know I'm naughty, so, you know, give me A for effort and E for everything else. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you had a good week. A lot of things happened through the week. We can have an open line. You can call in. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. We could beat me up, beat anybody up. I'm happy today. You know, like I was saying yesterday was opening day of baseball, and my dog just won, so I'm in good shape. We're going to have a good week of baseball, and we're going to try to have ourselves a good show right now. So moving right on into what's making news, what's in the headlines today, what's breaking news is brought to you by Fine Threads. At Fine Threads, we have new suits for all your needs, double-breasted, regular, slim, pinstripe, and fashion. They also have new items coming in every week, chino pants, fresh shirts for any event or occasion. Swing by top of the hill, Mackey Street, or Southwest Plaza, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Fine Threads for the man with good taste. So what's happening in the headlines? All right, let's see what's going on today now. Tax crackdown. DIR seizes good from Harbor Island businesses. Oh boy, fellas is charging underutilized VAT and all that. You know, you can have your views on VAT, you can have your views on taxes, but if that's the law, you got, if you operate business, better pay your taxes, man. Because if I pay mine, you got to pay yours. If you're taking VAT from me, please give it in. Ministry says official aired and saying $9 million spent to prepare for Carifta. We say you get thrown under the bus, but I ain't gonna say that. So I guess the minister, the president or the chairman of the LOC said that they spent over $9 million. But he did mention that it's for Carifta. You also got the Bahama Games, and you got the World Relays coming up. So I guess the minister's trying to say all the $9 million wasn't just for Carifta. So I want to say it's a little bit for others. And I understand what he's trying to say. I guess what Lyndon is trying to say is, listen, this will be spending now, and the first event is Carifta. And even though the stadium will be ready for other events, so to me, once the stadium fixes, I just want to see it fix up, and I want it to be safe. Because we can have 10, 12,000 people in that, plus athletes and officials. I want to make sure the stadium's safe, so let's get it done. Government seeks damage from Shanty residents. Okay. Man shot to death. Another one. Oh, man. JPL fire back at FTX US. And I guess that's the liquidators fighting the FTX US back and saying, we can fight back. And then there's a picture on the front page where former Assistant Commissioner of Police Leon, the General Bethel, was laid to rest. He was a dear friend of mine. Will surely be missed. Surely be missed. R.I.P., my brother. Business. Bahama Group bookings up 30% in best year ever. Now, that's what we want to hear. We want to hear people coming to the Bahamas. We want to hear the bookings are up. You know, when they stay in the Bahamas and Atlantis, they're spending that good money. That's what we want to spend it. So bookings pace for groups from 2024, the strongest in the resort's history. The app launched to submit customs declarations digitally. FTX to turn over frozen assets in FTX bankruptcy case. And also, Ambassador, better financing needed to address climate change pandemics. And that's to throw you out there. Gas, Rubis 559, Esso 572, and Shell 567. So that's what's happening in the news today. Brought to you by Fine Threads. Interesting stuff. We got some interesting things, but we also got some good things happening in the country too, you know. But I am concerned that every time I open up the papers, we see another somebody shot. You see another somebody hurt. And I don't like that. And I think a lot of us need to start paying attention to what's going on. And, you know, it's not trying to condemn anybody, anything, but we need to be a little more vigilant. We must be our brother's keeper and time to report some things. Because young men, you got to put them guns down. Text. I just thought anytime I have a great show as usual. I like that, you know. I know the show will be great because you from SAC. The only failure came from SAC was, I ain't gonna call that. Really, I have a praise to give to Monroe. Not a fan of him, but he have the prisoners cutting grass now. Convince murderers with a cutlass, not smart, but it's a start. They used to do that a lot, you know. They used to have them working all the government age complex and cleaning and stuff like that. But then they started giving out contracts, roadside contracts and stuff like that to citizens to help the economy. So I don't know if they murderers. I think you gotta do some time. You gotta show good behavior, and you gotta become what they call somewhat of a trustee, and then you gotta qualify for what they call the work scheme or the work program. I don't know the exact rules, so don't quote me on it and say, Pearlie say this and that's what it is, because I only going by what my past knowledge and what I've seen. But so I know the thing. You ain't gonna put a cold-blooded murderer there to go cut no grass with a cutlass. I know that much. Can't be. So I know it'd be fellas who've probably close to coming out, who probably have been there for a while and have changed their ways in terms of being rehabilitated, or who have also, like, you know, who show that they can be trusted. And I'm sure they're the kind that, and they're not going to be hardened criminals, not fellas who are threatened to escape to go do some foolishness. So Mr. Dexter, I can't let you say that like that and get away with it, okay? And the text also goes on to say, Pearlie, Nassau 12/7, well, actually 21/7. These people dump. If you kill someone, you know you will see them in KFC. I remember one time I was a young teller at a bank, and it was my last 15 minutes to work because I was getting ready to go back to college on a Friday, 4:45. I won't say the bank or the branch, and a fella walked in there and held the bank up. The police caught him, and he would be at the time a CID. Monday morning and give a statement and all of that, and they apparently charged them. Then I come home for the Christmas holidays, and me and my friend we stopped the KFC on Marquis Street, and who actually was on the line, the guy who held up the bank was on the line buying KFC. Well, I just turned right back around and walked out because I didn't know where his head was, I didn't know what was going on, and I was trying to be like a good college student. But we're going to take our first break. Mr. Producer, when we come back, I should have a friend calling in, and we're going to talk a little bit about some concerns I have. And right now, I have some concerns, really concerned about the crime rate and actually the murder rate. And I think people think it's all the police, but there's some other ways that we need to do. And I got a friend who's going to call in pretty soon, and we're going to talk a little bit about public health and crime. We'll be right back. Talking Heads and Naughty. I'm Pearlie.
Easter is right around the corner, and the Nassau Guardian is partnering with the Easter Bunny to give something special to you. Would you like to give your child an Easter basket filled to the brim with chocolate bunnies, surprise eggs, gift certificates, and more? Then you should enter your child into the Nassau Guardian's Easter Coloring Contest. There are 3 different categories: 5 to 6, 7 to 9, and 10 to 13. Deadline for entry is Monday, April 3rd at 4 p.m. Purchase your copy of the Nassau Guardian to get your Easter Coloring Contest sign-up form, and let your children color away and win one of 3 baskets filled to the brim with Easter goodies from the Nassau Guardian. The Nassau Guardian's Easter Coloring Contest. For more information, call 302-2370.
Well done, Easter Bunnies. Good job.
Vaccines protect those we love the most, our children and our grandchildren. I vaccinated my children to protect them. Getting your child immunized can protect them like polio, measles, whooping cough, and others. So protect your child today by getting them immunized. My grandchildren are vaccinated. You should do the same. Vaccinate your children and your grandchildren and make sure they are safe.
Take advantage of the National Vaccination Catch-Up Campaign, March 25th to April 6th. Visit your nearest clinic weekdays between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. On Saturday, March 25th, visit us at the Red Cross, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And on Saturday, April 1st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., we'll be at the mall at Marathon. COVID-19 vaccines are also available at all locations. This message is brought to you by Parkwood WHO, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and USAID.
Original or hot and spicy?
Feeling original? Think twice. Here's some precise advice. Always add the spice.
Hey, that's great. Take your time, brother. I don't want you to run too far out with your spicy self.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, mouth hard, but you still ain't got the right flavor.
Listen, I'm an original. You? There's a spicy come lately.
You think so? Original. You could never.
There's no winning flavor. They're all finger-licking good. Only at KFC Nassau.
Refined style with elegant taste. Then fine threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then fine threads is your place. If you want to look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video. Want to step out and look great? Then fine threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste. Then fine threads is your place. Is your place. Is your place.
On your mark. Set. Go for gold. It's your chance to cheer from here, Bahamas. Scotiabank is the regional banking partner for the 2023 Carifta Games. We invite everyone to come watch our young athletes perform at their best. Every Scotiabank MasterCard credit card holder into the stadium. Just show your card with your ticket at the Southern Gate. Plus, check us in the Cultural Village at the Scotiabank kiosk where you can win amazing prizes. Scotiabank, proud sponsor of the 2023 Oak Tree Medical Center Carifta Games.
And we're back, Talking Heads, and this is Pearly. Oh, how's everybody doing? Everybody going good? Got a text line, yeah? But this one person really messing with me now. Pearly, you was a banker. Y'all ever play dominoes in the vault? No, never played dominoes in the vault. Upstairs in the kitchen. Pearly, you got your fish for Easter. You better get it today because the next week fish will be $100 for one snapper. No, man, it ain't gonna be that bad. But no, we do as a family. We get our fish as a family. So my mom and my sisters all get a fish, and we have one big Good Friday meal at my mom's house. So that's straight, I think. I better call my sister to make sure. Pearly, next week, I having 4 meat and 3 starch on my plate. You just mess with me, Dexter. Boy. We have Mandela's called in yet? Mr. Producer? Oh, there you are. Are you there, Mandel?
There you go. Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Thompson. How are you doing?
I'm good, my brother. How are you?
It's always a pleasure to be in your company and your listening audience.
Thank you. So this is what I wanted to talk about, something that's going a little viral around town. What's the buzz of town? What's the concern about most citizens? And we had you had a couple in being town last week, and it seems to be like there are a lot of people saying that, and reading the story, and what grabbed me and why I actually wanted to have a conversation with you about it. In reading the story, they said another shooting right after the minister said that the police would be tougher. And a lot of people believe that the police should have the answer for crime. The police should be the ones that be fighting the crime, but it should be a holistic, not just the police, but it should be a holistic approach with more than one agency. And some of the work that you do and the people you work with have but have an added look at how you can deal with crime. And I just want you to tell me a little bit about it. Why,
Yes, I think the time has come. I know that the time has come for us to move beyond just the national security approach to what is called the public health approach to crime and violence, understanding the systemic causes of the determinants that relate to the violence that we see playing out or manifesting in our society. Like you said, there must be a holistic approach. The public health approach is an approach that CARICOM had called for back in 2020, that they weren't able to fully execute across the region because COVID came in, and a summit that they had planned to sort of make that the thing, the public health approach to crime and violence, did not happen. Similar to how immigration was the topic of discussion in our recent heads of government meeting with CARICOM leaders that was just held here recently. Like I said, in 2020, the intent was for CARICOM to do such things as it pertains to violence and crime in our communities. That did not happen as a result of COVID. And so post that intervention, I have not seen any major push towards the public health approach, understanding what it is, and for us to start the work that's necessary to address our crime problem or violence in a holistic way and help the community, more so the society, citizens, to understand, the average Bahamian to understand the role we play and the various roles that the different systems, whether that be the police, whether that be social service, whether that be education, whether that be our faith-based organizations, whether that be even the media, like this opportunity that you gave us this afternoon. And so we understand that crime is violence is contagious, and that just like any medical ailment, when exposed to it, it spirals out of control. And so the need for our leaders to understand this public health approach and start to put the necessary teams together to holistically address crime in our country is at an all-time urgent. We're at an urgent place for it.
When you say public health, what you mean? Let's talk plain. Let's break it down. Let's talk. What you mean public health? Because you said one thing that perked my ear just now. You said contagious. Break it down. What you trying to tell me?
The average person, when they hear public health, they think about our clinics or just going to the hospital. We must understand that, one, health in itself is more than just medical. It's about the environment. It's about the determinants. It's about the level of poverty in our society. All of these different things are the determinants related to crime. And unless we're able to deal with some of these ailments, for example, poverty doesn't have anything to do with the police. That's not a police problem, poverty. That's a social issue. And so you cannot we cannot continue going down this road where the police are the sole entity that's responsible for the remediation of crime. We must understand the public health approach. And what is the public health approach?
Yes.
I tell people, I call it the public health approach. Every time an incident happens, we ask the public, if you have information, call us, let us know. When are we going to get beyond that, where we help the public to understand the role that we can play as a society in alleviating some of this crime and violence in our communities? Every time I hear, like you mentioned in the top of our conversation, the minister said this, or the prime minister, or somebody says that. Every time I hear any leader in our country talk about fighting crime, I brace to see an increase, because I understand from the public health approach that you're dealing with a principality. And in a Christian country, we would know that our Bible tells us we are no match for these principalities. So every time you say the police force is going to be our solution, I know we're going to have a problem, because we are wrestling not against flesh and blood. This ailment of crime in our society, to the level that it is, has spiritual implications also. And so I think every time these principalities hear us say, or beat on our chest, say, yes, we're going to arrest crime and tackle crime, they laugh, knowing full well that we don't seem to have the wherewithal to truly deal with crime. For example, I remember there was a shooting in a church in North Carolina. And I came from a political meeting that night as a young torchbearer, and I asked, when I got home, my significant other said at the time, they just had a shooting in a church in North Carolina, Mandela. I was like, what? So as I turned on the TV and started to gain knowledge of what happened, I started to talk to God, and I was like, God, if violence is happening in your house, in the church, you must have a solution for it. What is your strategic plan of action? Not no theoretical, vague, broad something. What is your strategic plan of action for crime? And that is the question that I asked God, and that night I got an answer, which is crime and violence will be no more in your land when the gates of your city become that of salvation and prayer. Now, that may not work for Chicago, New York, Maryland, Florida, or wherever, but I know in a Christian country where we are praying people, if we start to disseminate, if we take the gospel and become serious about that and see that as the crime, see salvation as the solution to the person that's potentially the trigger puller, I think we're on to something there.
I hear that, right? And let me be, and for lack of a better terminology, let me be the devil's advocate, and don't take it the wrong way. How much of these young men want to hear a religious person or a pastor come try to talk to them and try to reason with them?
You may be surprised.
Some of them, and some of them will make certain comments, you know.
You would be surprised, Mr. Thompson. I've had numerous incidents. Where I come across individuals trying to talk to people, and maybe because I think I can relate a little different or better to the person that they're talking to, or trying to do some kind of spiritual outreach with, I intervene. And in a lot of instances, we are successful in reaching these individuals. But if we sit down and put our heads in the sand and say, they don't want to hear from us, and we use that as an excuse not to go and not to get out of the four walls of the church versus sitting down on a Friday night in youth meeting, waiting for our young people to come to youth meeting. We have generations of unchurched young people in our country.
Yeah.
So sitting down on a Friday night waiting for them to come to young youth meeting ain't it no more. We gotta go
church
out
ain't fun no more. Man, church dead, man. Church, man, you can't. All kind of excuses for not to go to church.
I want to use, for example, a young man that I know recently lost his life. On a Friday night, went to church because the church decided that they would deliver the gospel in a innovative way, in a different approach than the traditional come to church on a Friday night. And I've received information based on my investigation that Friday night he told friends, hey, I got into this church service because I sure y'all could be there. It was packaged different. But the reality of it is, this is an individual who did not believe in God.
Okay.
And upon him arriving at church, he got in a conversation with the pastor and the youth leaders. And that night in particular, he was convicted to the point that he started to believe.
Okay.
And when asked, hey, are you coming back? Are you going back? He's on video saying, yes, definitely I'm coming back. Definitely I'm going back. He told someone who was like a mentor to him. The following night, he was a dead man. The reality of that circumstances is that he got a chance, possibly, hopefully, to believe, because the Bible says, unto he who believes, John 3:16, for those that believe shall be saved. So the fact that that individual who did not believe in God got the opportunity to believe, there's a possibility that he could possibly make heaven. His salvation could possibly be the saving grace of his soul. Okay. And we have to understand that with our young people. Aunties, uncles, mummies, daddies, we got to get back to that place where we're encouraging our people and being examples of taking them to church, going to church, doing things that feed our spirit. A lot of these young people, a lot of these individuals, their spirit life is either dead or is being fed by something that's contrary to what we believe as a country in terms of Christianity. And so when all of that comes together, you almost got like a cocktail going on whenever conflict arises, because there's no substance inside them to resolve an issue. And so we have to we have to become intentional about sharing the message of Christ, and about it's not just the message of Christ, but sharing love and sharing a new approach. I remember there was a particular gangster that was known throughout the country at one point in time, and everybody used to have the worst things to say about him. And I always said to myself, why has nobody thought about, could we possibly reach him through salvation? And you hear Christian people lambasting these people, these individuals. But the reality is that we got to go. The same Paul that we read in the book, in the Bible today, the Apostle Paul, was once a murderer, a mass murderer. So you're trying to tell me if God could save him, he can't save some of these people we got here? Are you trying to tell me that some of these same pastors and leaders in the faith-based organizations aren't individuals who were rescued from the street, who were redeemed?
All right, but let me ask you this. Okay, and I hear all of that, and I'm just, like I say, I don't want my mommy call me later and tell me I didn't sound too Christian-y. So, mommy, I only being the devil's advocate for the sake of the talk show, the conversation.
Because you know she trained you.
Because I know she called me, why, what is you talking? Let's take the church away. Let's take the church off the table. When I say take the church off the table, let's put it on. And I don't want to say put it on the side.
We already.
We holding on to that. Okay,
that's a solution. That's one off.
Give me another one.
one of the other approaches is we got to start to create positive pathways for individuals in our society to be able to bring themselves out of what I call antisocial behavior.
When you say positive pathways, let's like what?
For example, I remember when I came out of prison, I looked around trying to find out what entities, systems, or so forth existed that could help me to rehabilitate my state at that time, mentally, emotionally. And I think the only one that I discovered was the Lead Institute. We don't have enough of these kinds of entities and individuals in our society who has the empathy and knows that hey, look here, this person might have had a challenge path, but if we feed them the right information and give them the right support and surround them with the right systems, this can become a person that's productive in the development of our society. We need to do far much more of that than we are now. The efforts that we're putting out, in my humble opinion, is not enough. Okay. Yes, and you'll have people say, we're doing this and we're doing that, we're doing the next thing. We need to do more. The Bible, again, sorry to go back to that because that's my foundation. The Bible, again, says pray without ceasing. I apologize for that. Pray, so just how you pray without ceasing, have actions without limitation. We got to try if you get to weigh, if you try 25 ways on a 99 and them 25 don't work, keep going till you get to 100. We got to keep trying because the same approach that God has with us when it comes to grace and our sin is the approach that we need to take with these individuals that are on our streets.
We have one more thing I want to talk about. We have a lot of single female parent homes. Women trying to raise young boys.
Mentorship.
And I had a very good friend in the media industry, and I'm not going to call his name because he's still very active, who had preached about doing a boys club, a Big Brother club through the Boys Club of America, Big Brother program where adult men, of successful adult men, mentor young men,
and they could
spend time with them, hang with them, and I thought about it. And I had a friend who was telling me, in their family, when one of the men in the family turned 18, all the other adult men, they go on a trip, a man's trip.
Oh wow!
And they go out and they talk and they go to dinner, they go to the club, they do different things and they talk about being a man and they talk about their successes about being men. One of the things I try to do, and it's an informal program that I have, it's nothing that I plan or nothing like that. I have in where I live, I have some of the young men in the area who pretty much gather at my house. I know the real reason they gather at my house because I have internet and I let them use it for free and they can play on their phones and play. But I cook waffles and when I cook I feed them and when they do wrong I fuss them out, I talk to them, and to the point that some of them I have them help them with their homework. And I'm seeing the success of it because I had a particular young man and he's a lot older now, who I took under my wing, and he used to get in trouble a lot, and I must have bailed him out of jail at least 4 or 5 times. And my wife used to say, hey, this dude got you working harder than your own sons. And my comment to her is, God has blessed me enough to have 2 good young men, 2 good sons, who I don't have to worry about so I could help other young men.
Amen.
But this particular young man, and I'm so proud of him, and he's turned his life around. He's gotten a house. He's a family man. He's working. And he's trying to raise his daughter and son and do a good job about it. I had another young man who, same thing, getting in trouble, getting in fight, been on a boat cruise, getting a major fight, and ended up running, and the fellas was going to gang him, and the only thing that saved him, he had to hide because he was a heavy-set guy. And I stick with me, bro. You don't need to be getting in this. He's one of the top cameramen in this country. Hard-working young man. Again, mentorship. And there's nothing I plan, There's nothing I plan.
In the early 90s, and when our country was really like trying to find its direction and so forth, the village approach in my growing up days, I'm an 85 baby. In my growing up days, the village approach was the thing. If you were coming home from school, you straight out your pants and bust on, and Mama so-and-so say, boy, fix that shirt in your pants and bust on. You better have fix that shirt in your pants before you get home, because by the time you get home, Mommy or Grammy didn't know that Miss Julie had to tell you to fix your pants, and you answer her the wrong way, and Miss Julie cut your hip, and you get cut it when you reach home and when you reach by Mommy again.
But let them know let them know you grew up in Inagua. That's Inagua.
That village concept we've lost. At the Bahamas National Drug Council, we talk about an African principle called Ubuntu. What does Ubuntu mean? I am because we are. We've lost that concept as a country where if it ain't bothering me, it ain't got nothing to do with me. As long as my children go to school and come home safe, I good. As long as my children home in the night when all the foolishness going on, I good.
Yeah.
But it's not until it comes home that we hear the outcry from various individuals.
No, it got to be a village.
As a country,
yeah.
We have to be nationally outraged about what's taking place in our country. We have young people, just the other day, the age of 14, with a high-powered weapon. I see something moving around social media right now that just came to my phone about a fourth grader found with bullets in their bag after making threats of gun violence toward either peers or teacher or something of that sort. We got a systemic problem in this country that we keep beating on the chest of the police to solve, and it's not.
It's about all of us.
A police problem.
There's a texter right now saying, Mandel, good afternoon. Listen, many youth are interested and do desire change. The problem is when we create positive alternatives for our youth, the people in position to help choose not to help them, even though they show facts that the program works and continue to work. And a lot of times, some of the programs they get killed in the political game. But
exactly.
But it you know, it does take a village, you know. And I always tell people, I was the chauffeur for my kids when they were growing up. I used to have 8 to 10 young men in my car, dropping them to parties, dropping them to events, picking them up for 2 reasons: A, I want to be the one to take my children. B, I want to know who my children are hanging out with. And it gave me an opportunity to get to know these young men, to talk to these young men. And you're right, Mandel. It does take a village.
It's one of the determinants that we must have national conversations about also. Because our parenting has shifted. The dynamics of our parenting has shifted. Look at the things young girls, look at the ways young girls are allowed to dress. Now, I mean young women. I talk about young girls. In comparison to ages ago, when if you come in church the wrong way, Grammy, them used to pull a cloth over you and things.
Yeah.
Young women, young girls now go to church dressed any kind of how. As far as they are concerned, as long as I am comfortable. When, again, we are taught a certain way that we ought to adorn ourselves. In Boys Brigade, I was taught, dress the way you want to be addressed.
Yes.
But if you dress like a SLUT and then someone addresses you like that, you have a problem with it. The reality of it is that we have to hold true to some moral principles and guidelines.
Yep.
And we're watching the very fabric and foundation of our country erode right before our eyes. And we're doing nothing about it. We're just sitting down like, oh, that's just another gang violence.
Yeah, but we got to take... Mandel, we're running out of time here. I just want to read one more text. It says here, I created a youth work program called YBTC, Youth Break and Cycle. We have helped many youth, young male and females with gainful employment, and that's what it's about. You know, this is a part. Exactly with the Texas, this is a part of the village being there, and we got to do more of that. You know, God has been good to me. I was able to go to the best school in the world, St. Augustine's. I was able to have a college degree. I went to school in St. John's University, Minnesota. I was able to put 3 kids through Xavier Sack and St. John's St. Ben's. So God has blessed me. So why shouldn't I be helping to give back? Why shouldn't I be helping to help other kids? Because God has allowed my kids to do well, and don't put that pressure. Knock on wood, I ain't never been to the police station for my kids. So God has blessed me to have 3 good kids so I can give something back to society. And that's what a lot of us more need to do.
I'll tell you how dire the situation is, Mr. Thompson.
And this is your last statement. I'm going to run you after this.
Yeah. Just recently, I went into an inner city area, I think the Hay Street area, and a young man walked me around this area on a Friday evening, like this evening, and allowed the sun to set, and he said, Mandel, I want you to see that. 8 churches in this area, young people all across the community. We walked and we pointed out each one of these churches. He said, I want you to see this. He said, now here's what's going to happen. Around 8:30, when youth meeting now, everybody can grab their bag, hold that tight, beat their car, peep out the door, look twice, and gone. They can't. They gone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
How is we have lost the mandate? Because if we are the church, how come we scared too?
You can't be scared. I ain't scared. I go paying down. I go stand up, talk to you. You can't be scared. But God is there to bless you. But Mandel, I just want to say thank you for sharing this with me. This is something that you and I have spoken about many times. And
I'm an advocate for the public
I know you are.
approach
I know you are.
crime and violence. We must address the systemic issues from a non-national security point of view. Police are only one piece of the puzzle that it takes to cure, not fight, cure violence and the effects of violence in our country. Thank you very much.
With that, I say thank you very much. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we talk about what's making some news out there around the world. Thank you so much, Mandel. God bless you, and I'll see you at the round table soon.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
When I got prostate cancer, my family didn't know if I was going to live. At Cancer Treatment Centers of America, within days, I got an appointment. They presented me with treatment options, and we set up a robotic prostatectomy. When my scans came back, there are no signs of cancer. They don't see you as a number, they see you as a part of the family. I'm going on with my life. That's a real gift.
Call us at Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
People, what you thinking? We want something different. People, what you wanting? We want local government. I can tell them no more slunking. We want to see it function. I can tell them no more joking. I forgot. Going down Blue Hill Road, going down Village Road, going down Nassau Road. We want local government. We want local government. We want local government. Share the love. We want local government. We are called for local government. Sign the petition and find out more information at risebahamas.net.
Play with Island Games. We making dreams come true. Play with Island Games. We paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market. You getting cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first. Guaranteed to pay. Island Games. We like them other jokers. We've been here from the start. From the bike to computer. Island Games. We can make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. Whatever the occasion, John's is confident you will find what you're looking for among our always growing collection of amazing and trendy styles. We cover women, men, children, the whole family. Together with John's great prices and helpful and friendly customer service, your experience in shopping with us will be time well spent. Too busy to come in store? Shop with us online. www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on in today at John's, where we put fashion at your feet.
Experience a flavor explosion with the new Italian mozzarella chicken sandwich from Dunkin'. Loaded with juicy chicken, marinara sauce, a generous drizzle of pesto sauce, all topped off with melted cheese and served on a warm, flaky croissant. Made to order all day long, the Dunkin' Italian mozzarella chicken sandwich combo includes a bag of baked Lay's and a freshly brewed iced tea. Enjoy a taste of Italy in every bite. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
We're good for you.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity. It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it. My sales increased, and I can track my earnings. Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today. Call 356-7764.
When faced with an illness like cancer, we band together, and we at Cleveland Clinic in Florida have your back. From advanced cancer treatments to extra safety measures at all of our locations, we're with you on this journey. For every infusion and follow-up, for every step of the way, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic in Florida. Get the care you need when and where you need it. To learn more or connect with a local representative, Visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
Every Thursday until April 6th, between 5 and 6 p.m., is Come Gold With Us Thursdays. Take a photo or video wearing your Carifta merchandise and cheer on our Carifta athletes. Follow us and like our Facebook page, 58 Carifta 2023. Then keep a lookout for our team and get a chance to win a golden ticket and many, many more giveaways for the 58 Carifta Games. For more details, email info@carifta50.com or call 808-GOLD.
The ultimate sandwich experience starts with a bite of the KFC Barbecue Glazed Zinger and a flavor explosion of crispy, juicy, 100% premium white meat spicy filet, KFC barbecue sauce, lettuce, cheese, and smoky bacon on a toasted brioche bun. The perfect balance of heat and sweet. You won't be able to resist the KFC Barbecue Glazed Zinger. Made by the fried chicken sandwich experts, the KFC Barbecue Glazed Zinger is available for a limited time. Try one today. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Mr. Producer, welcome back to Talking Heads and Naughty This Pearly. I had a commercial that was looking for saying we want local government in New Providence. You think if they bring it, I could run for the mayor, chipping up? I'm looking for a campaign manager. We could talk after the show, right? What's heating up out there? I wanted to talk about the global warming, which is heating up in the planet. What's the hot news out there brought to you by KFC? KFC scores big with game day wings. Enjoy a dozen KFC finger-licking good saucy wings with your choice of barbecue classic, buffalo or mango habanero sauce for only $14. Take a time out and head to the nearest KFC to score that amazing deal, or do what I usually do. WhatsApp it at 557-3663. That's 557-3663 to order and skip the line. So what's heating up out there? I can talk about the hottest one last, but the good news is the Pope Francis will be discharged from the hospital tomorrow, Saturday. He's been up, ate some pizza for dinner last night, and he doing a little bit of work, so he'll be coming tomorrow, which is good news for us Catholics. King Charles wraps up his triumphant state visit to Germany. He's the first British monarch to speak at the German Parliament. This is interesting. China and Saudi Arabia are getting closer. Should the U.S. be worried? That's interesting. Ghana's president softens the country's stance on draconian anti-LGBTQ bill as Kamala Harris visits, Vice President Kamala Harris visits. So I guess Ghana talking about softening its stance on the new laws and stuff they put in. Social Security, and I saw this piece and I said I'll bring this up because we've been talking a lot about this with NIB. Social Security will not be able to pay full benefits in 2034 if Congress doesn't act. I guess that ain't only us with problems in national insurance. And then the hottest thing out there, the really hottest thing out there is Trump got indicted for paying hush money to the porn star. So I guess his lawyers have been talking to the New York State Attorney General and arranging for, he's going to turn himself in sometime next week, I guess, and get arrested. So the question is, can he still run for president if he's indicted? Yes, he can still run for president if he's indicted, and yes, he can still run for president if he's convicted. So that I don't know. That's he said he's going to win and he's going to vote Biden out and he's going to get them all out and everything like that. So that's been a big row going on out there. That's going to be real interesting to see how it goes on, how it develops with Trump. He's interesting. He's really interesting, and a lot of people think that this is the Democrats pushing this really hard because they know that if he runs, he could win again. And I don't think Biden's approval rating is too good right now, and I don't think them fellas ready for a black woman to be a president. So this is going to be kind of interesting to see what goes on in America. And I watch politics all over the world, so I'm going to keep a close look at that, keep a close watch on that, and see what's going on with that. And then the issue with Social Security, I guess. The baby boomers are now getting older, so that means a lot more people are depending on the benefits of Social Security and NIB in the Bahamas. So there's a lot of things that have to be done. Should they increase the cost? Should they be charging more money for Social Security? There's a lot of different things that people are going to be asking. This is going to be the talk. So it's not just the Bahamas that we have this problem. It's a big problem all over the world. And I guess right next door does, and I'd be interested to see if Canada's going through the same problems. I'm going to look that up and I'll talk that to Naughty Ghana's president softens country stand on draconian anti-LGBTQ bill. Them people over there serious in Africa. They pass some serious laws. And I guess the Americans are lobbying or pushing or getting down on them and threatening some sanctions and all that if they don't ease up on it. So, boy, that's interesting. I can hold my comment because I feel like getting routed today. So I can hold my comment on that. And then the Americans concerned with China and Saudi Arabia getting too close. Boy. And then, China, I think China's visited Putin the other day, so they were concerned about that. The Americans got to do some little homework. And, of course, King Charles, who will be here in July, was in Germany. And people said his family had German descent, so let's don't get in that conversation. And then Pope Francis coming out of the hospital tomorrow. He had some kind of infection, so he's doing well. Like I said, he was eating pizza and all that, so we're pretty happy. Well, that's the end of our 4 o'clock hour. We're going to go to the news break. We're going to take our final break. We're in the news break. When I come back, we're going to talk sports. We're going to talk Major League Baseball opening night was last night. The Judd hit his home run. My Dodgers won. The Padres lost. So it was some fun things in baseball last night. Some records already set. Rookie hit home run. So it's an exciting day in baseball last night. Not as many games today. Some things happening in the NFL with Lamar Jackson. And, of course, Naughty got the drive home at 5 after 5 at 5:50. So when we take a break, take a last commercial break, news break, and when I come back, talking sports with Naughty on Talking Heads. We'll be right back.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. Whatever the occasion, John's is confident you will find what you're looking for among our always growing collection of amazing and trendy styles. We cover women, men, children, the whole family. Together with John's great prices and helpful and friendly customer service, your experience in shopping with us will be time well spent. Too busy to come in store? Shop with us online. www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on in today at John's, where we put fashion at your feet.
Experience a flavor explosion with the new Italian mozzarella chicken sandwich from Dunkin'. Loaded with juicy chicken, marinara sauce, a generous drizzle of pesto sauce, all topped off with melted cheese and served on a warm, flaky croissant. Made to order all day long, the Dunkin' Italian mozzarella chicken sandwich combo includes a bag of baked lays and a freshly brewed iced tea. Enjoy a taste of Italy in every bite. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
Every Thursday until April 6th, between 5 and 6 p.m., is Come Gold With Us Thursdays. Take a photo or video wearing your Carifta merchandise and cheer on our Carifta athletes. Follow us and like our Facebook page, 50th Carifta 2023. Then keep a lookout for our team and get a chance to win a golden ticket and many, many more giveaways for the 50th Carifta Games. For more details, email info@carifta50.com or call 808-GOLD.
On your mark, set, go for gold. It's your chance to cheer from here, Bahamas. Scotiabank is the regional banking partner for the 2023 Carifta Games. We invite everyone to come watch our young athletes perform at their best. Every Scotiabank MasterCard credit card holder gets fast-tracked into the stadium. Just show your card with your ticket at the Southern Gate. Plus, check us in the Cultural Village at the Scotiabank kiosk where you can win amazing prizes. Scotiabank, proud sponsor of the 2023 Oak Tree Medical Center Carifta Games.
Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then fine threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then fine threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place, is your place, is your place.
Vaccines protect those we love the most, our children and our grandchildren. I vaccinated my children to protect them. Getting your child immunized can protect them against diseases like polio, measles, whooping cough, and others. So protect your child today by getting them immunized. My grandchildren are vaccinated. You should do the same. Vaccinate your children and your grandchildren and make sure they are safe.
Take advantage of the National Vaccination Catch-Up Campaign, March 25th to April 6th. Visit your nearest clinic weekdays between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. On Saturday, March 25th, visit us at the Red Cross, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And on Saturday, April 1st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., we'll be at the Mall at Marathon. COVID-19 vaccines are also available at all locations. This message is brought to you by Parkwood WHO, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and USAID.
Original or hot and spicy?
Feeling original? Think twice. Here's some precise advice. Always add the spice.
Hey, that's great. Take your time, brother. I don't want you to run too far out with your spicy self.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, mouth hard, but you still ain't got the right flavor.
Listen, just like the Colonel, I'm an original. You? There's a spicy come lately.
You think so? Original. You could never.
There's no winning flavor. They're all finger-licking good. Only at KFC Nassau.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Easter is right around the corner, and the Nassau Guardian is partnering with the Easter Bunny to give something special to you. Would you like to give your child an Easter basket filled to the brim with chocolate bunnies, surprise eggs, gift certificates, and more? Then you should enter your child into the Nassau Guardian's Easter Coloring Contest. There are 3 different categories: 5 to 6, 7 to 9, and 10 to 13. Deadline for entry is Monday, April 3rd at 4 p.m. Purchase your copy of the Nassau Guardian to get your Easter Coloring Contest sign-up form and let your children color away and win one of 3 baskets filled to the brim with Easter goodies from the Nassau Guardian. The Nassau Guardian's Easter Coloring Contest. For more information, call 302-2370.
Well done, Easter Bunnies. Good job.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
And we're back. It's Talking Heads with Naughty, and it's the 5 o'clock hour. And the 5 o'clock hour, we talk sports. Anything about sports you want to talk about, we try to have some information for you. Yesterday was opening day. I know people think I'm kind of crazy right here, but that's how exciting, they said in certain places there's certain holidays, unofficial holidays, like No Tax Day, and opening day of football, and Super Bowl Sunday. These are unofficial holidays in the sports world, and in some worlds, and then in the sports world, Super Bowl Sunday, opening day of baseball. That's like New Year's Day. So the opening day, and you see that's where stars are born, rookies get their first breaks, and a lot of things happen. So I'm excited. Let's see what's today's in sports history. What's good, what's going on, what achieved, what happened today in sports history. Brought to you by Naughty Johnny's. Happy hours 5 to 7, Wednesdays and Fridays. That's today, happy hour 5 to 7. So we leave out at 6 and go hit some happy hour and have some bit of fun. Have a little bite to eat at Naughty Johnny's. Today, what happened today in sports? In 1906, the Intercollegiate Athletic Association of the United States was founded to set rules on amateur sports. The organization became the National Collegiate Athletic Association, which we know as the NCAA, which the tournament's going on now. Tonight, we got the women's tonight. In 1923, King Clancy, Ottawa Senators, played all 6 positions in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals. He played goalie for 2 minutes, while Clint Bennett served a penalty. In 1931, Knut Rockne died on a plane crash. I don't know who that is. In 1968, Seattle chose the nickname Pilots for the new AL American League franchise. In 1972, the Major League Baseball Players Association voted to go on strike on April the 1st. I remember that. In 1973, Muhammad Ali wore a $10,000 robe with the People's Champion inscribed on it. Ali lost the fight to Ken Norton Elvis Presley had given the robe to Arlene on January 2nd, 1971. So Arlene buy the robe. In 1990, Joe Sakic became the youngest person in NHL history to score 100 points in a season. He was also the first to do so with a last-place team. That's interesting. In 1991, Brett Hull from the St. Louis Blues recorded his 86th goal of the season. It was the third best total in NHL history. In 1992, Cotton Fitzsimmons, Phoenix Suns, became the sixth coach in NBA history to get 800 career wins. In 1997, Martina Hingis, 16 years old, became the youngest women tennis player to reach the world #1 rank. In 1998, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays and the Arizona Diamondbacks debuted in Major League Baseball, and the Dodgers beat up on Arizona last night. In 1998, Pookie Reese from the Cincinnati Reds tied a Major League record when he had 4 errors in opening day. That's something to be record for, eh? In 2003, former U.S. President George H.W. Bush threw out the ceremonial first pitch at the season opener between the Cincinnati Reds and the Pittsburgh Pirates. In 2004, NFL owners adopted a 15-yard penalty for excessive celebration. The penalty was added to the fines previously in place for choreographed and multiplayer celebration. Also, if the infractions were flagrant, the player would be ejected. The previous day, the owners had instituted a modified instant replay system for 5 years. Well, that stopped because everybody there in the dance in the end zone when you score on there to get rid of that because the players really, really didn't like that. And I would like to see when Jason Wallace would do the waddle. Sports quote, "The day you take complete responsibility for yourself, the day you stop making any excuses, that's the day you start to the top." By O.J. Simpson. I got to read that again. The day you take complete responsibility for yourself, the day you stop making any excuses, that's the day you start to the top. O.J. Simpson. No comment. That's what's been making history, what's been going on today in sports history. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's real interesting. Don't keep. I gotta laugh at that because I find that to be quite interesting. I find that to be quite interesting. What's happening in local sports? What happened in the local scene? What's going on in the local scene today? Let's see what's going on in the local scene. Giants put Rockets on the ropes. They take a commanding 2-0 lead in the series over the defending champs. So the Commonwealth Bank Giants took over into the second half on Wednesday night and won convincingly 101-83 over the defending New Providence Basketball Association MPBA Division I defending champs, Discount Distributors Liquor Rockets. So it's a 2-0 lead for the best of 5 championship series. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens. Cargill seeks more funding for Carifta swimming. The Bahamas Carifta swim team will be in action in less than a week in Curacao, and looking to win a 5th straight title. And the president of the Bahamas Aquatic Federation, Arjun Cargill, said that the expensive mission, and although corporate Bahamas has done a good job, the Federation is still in need of funds, and the team is set to leave Tuesday. So they need some dollars. See if you can help them out, people. Anybody? I wish I could. Reloaded Baseball to stage Invitational, and BYFF to stage inaugural high school flag football tournament. We had those on yesterday to talk about the St. Augustine's, St. John's, Queens College, and Kingsway Academy. And some schools have a couple of teams. In the SAC got 3. I think Kingsway got 3. So there's about 10 teams playing. They'll be at 9:30 at the playing fields at Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. The fields are right on JFK Drive. So check them out. Get out there and support SAC, support QC, Kingsway. SAC will win, so I just want you to know that. But I just want you to be out there and support these young up and coming athletes. You never know, we may see one of them in the Super Bowl one day, and that would really be phenomenal to see something like that happen. That we can get some people in the Super Bowl, and I remember, I think we had the Twins that one played for the Baltimore Ravens, and then back in the day we had somebody at Denver Broncos. So we've not had the success in American football that we've had in baseball with Jazz and or basketball with Buddy Michael Thompson and others and Rick Fox. So we've not had that. And Clay Thompson, can't forget, because they keep saying his name, so we can claim that. So we've not had the success, and in track and field and in other sports like that. But particularly, I'm saying, looking at the major sports in America, nobody in hockey. I don't think ever see Bahamian playing hockey. One or two in football. Basketball we've done well, and baseball we're doing great. So we'll see how that goes. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we'll talk more sports. We'll talk about yesterday's opening day. We'll go through some of the games. We'll talk about the Dodgers games. We'll talk about what the Yankees do. We'll talk about some of the debuts of rookies. Because this is where you get to find out, or this is where you get to meet the future stars of the Major League Baseball. I remember when Fernando Valenzuela broke in 1981. This Mexican kid, 19-year-old, so they say he was 19-year-old, break in, and nobody knew what you got. But that year we got Rookie of the Year. He led the league in strikeouts, and he won the most valuable player. This is what makes baseball so fun and keeps it running. But when we come back, we'll talk some baseball, we'll talk some NBA, and we'll talk what's going on with Lamar Jackson in the NFL, and then we'll do naughty picks to close it out. And then when we close out for the last at 10 or the 10 at 5 or the 5 to 6, I don't know what naughty's call it, but the last 10 minutes of the show, you know, talk about some stuff wrangling out there in terms of the NFL draft with the Colts and the Raiders. So we'll see what's going on there. They're trying to make some moves. There's a lot of stuff coming on right now. A lot of wrangling can happen just before the NFL draft is coming up in a few weeks. So when we come back, we'll talk more sports. And we go over what's happening in baseball and football and basketball. Mr. Producer, I'll be right back with Talking Heads and Naughty. This is Pearly.
Vaccines protect those we love the most, our children and our grandchildren. I vaccinated my children to protect them. Getting your child immunized can protect them against diseases like polio, measles, whooping cough, and others. So protect your child today by getting them immunized. My grandchildren are vaccinated. You should do the same. Vaccinate your children and your grandchildren and make sure they are safe.
Take advantage of the National Vaccination Catch-Up Campaign, March 25th to April 6th. Visit your nearest clinic weekdays between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. On Saturday, March 25th, visit us at the Red Cross, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And on Saturday, April 1st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., we'll be at the mall at Marathon. COVID-19 vaccines are also available at all locations. This message is brought to you by Parkville WHO, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and USAID.
Refine style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then Fine Threads is your place. If you want to look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, want to step out and look great, then Fine Threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place, is your place, is your place.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Shopping is so rewarding with my Fidelity credit card. I get the best prices with price protection. Earn and redeem Freedom Points at my favorite stores. Get cash back. Plus, I booked a cruise. Get your Fidelity credit card today. Call 356-7764.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. Buy your local paper at Freeport Convenience Stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Want to reach your Grand Bahama customers? Then call Barefoot Marketing at 827-4578 or message them for ad rates via their Facebook page. Advertising opportunities now include classified ads too. Keep up with all the latest Grand Bahama news in the Nassau Guardian newspaper every Tuesday.
Original or hot and spicy?
Feeling original? Think twice. Here's some precise advice. Always add the spice.
Hey, that's great. Take your time, brother. I don't want you to run too far out with your spicy self.
Oh, yeah? Your mouth hard, but you still ain't got the right flavor.
Listen, just like the Colonel, I'm an original. You? There's a spicy come lately.
You think so? Original. You could never.
There's no winning flavor. They're all finger-licking good. Only at KFC Nassau.
On your mark. Set. Go for gold. It's your chance to cheer from here, Bahamas. Scotiabank is the regional banking partner for the 2023 Carifta Games. We invite everyone to come watch our young athletes perform at their best. Every Scotiabank MasterCard credit card holder gets fast-tracked into the stadium. Just show your card with your ticket at the Southern Gate. Plus, check us in the Cultural Village at the Scotiabank kiosk where you can win amazing prizes. Scotiabank, proud sponsor of the 2023 Oak Tree Medical Center Carifta Games.
Get cash back from the Water and Sewage Corporation. Receive $10 off your bill when you complete our online survey. We want to hear from you. Help us serve you better. Visit www.wsc.com.bs to complete our survey and receive $10 off your next bill.
Cashback offer applies to the first 100 customers.
It's fast, easy, and rewarding.
The Water and Sewage Corporation. Committed to growth, committed to quality.
Get your Carifta tickets. The 58th Carifta Games is coming. April 7th to April 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Online at Carifta50.com or at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium, Western Grand Entrance. For more details, email tickets@Carifta50.com or call 605-4051.
And welcome back to Talking Heads and Naughty. This is Pearly, talking sports. Welcome back, guys. Let's move right into who's in and who's out. The Daily Injury Report. Brought to you by Tropical Gyros, home of the original Bahamian gyro like jerk chicken, cracked lobster, cracked conch, barbecue salmon, grilled veggies, our famous jerk chicken salad. You check out them on Mackey Street and Mackey and Rosetta Street or at the R&D Plaza in JFK. Tropical Gyros. Hey, Chef Kalma, how you doing, bro? Hope you're doing well. Who's in and who's out? Some interesting happening. I see the San Francisco Giants signed a two-time All-Star catcher, Gary Sanchez. I think he played with Minnesota last year, and he wasn't signed with anybody, but had a pretty good World Baseball Classic, and he was able to convince the San Francisco Giants. Just doesn't get beat, though, but that's all right. Many people believe Shohei Ohtani will sign with the Los Angeles Dodgers on a deal that could clear over $600 million. He can get like $60 million a year. But, bro, this guy worth it to me. People come to see. I believe in paying him because people come to watch them play. And this guy, he can stalk out the stadium. He threw a 101-mile-an-hour fastball last night. He hitting like crazy. He's batting 300, hitting 30 home runs, pitching like crazy. He is probably the best player. He is the modern-day Babe Ruth. I see the Braves extended Orlando Arcia's contract, the shortstop, and Atlanta agreed to a 3-year, $73 million deal with club option for 2026. They settled in that he's a great young shortstop, so they got him in there. The Yankees signed Franchi Cordero. The New York agreed to a $1 million deal with outfielder who'll probably be on the opening day. Who's probably on the line. I don't know if he made the cut. I'll check if he made the lineup. They say Andrew Wiggins is in the Bay Area. Andrew Wiggins has been gone for an undisclosed reason from this Golden State Warriors. Rumors had it say that his wife came out that he was messing with Andrew Wiggins' best friend and had babies. And some people say I ain't no true. So we don't know what's going on with that. But being happy that he's back in the Bay Area. Happy that hopefully he'll be back in the lineup pretty soon. And that'll be good to see. LaMarcus Aldridge is retiring. 7-time All-Star announced retirement after 16 NBA seasons. That's interesting. That's really good stuff. Well, I wish him best. This is something I wanted to look at. Some big NFL bonuses are due today. And Matthew Stafford is due a $30 million bonus. Russell Wilson is due a $12 million bonus. You go to work and you work in Atlanta and somebody say, I gave you a $30 million bonus. I ain't coming back to work no more. Deebo Samuels is $14.035 million. Quentin Nelson is due $19 million. And Matt Ryan is due $8 million today and another $12 million, I think, next month. You get these kind of bonuses? I'd be so happy. 12 million. Boy, okay. But those are some big monies going out. A lot of times, the NFL teams will sign people for those kind of contracts, and then what they'll do is they know they have to pay it out today, so they'll pay it out, but they'll prorate it over the life of the contract. So instead of $30 million, you get a $30 million hit to your salary cap. You'll probably get a $10 million hit, and then you'll have some extra money to spend somewhere else. A lot of times they keep breaking it down like that, and that's when at the end of the day, people end up owing them all kind of money. So yesterday was opening day in baseball. An exciting day for a lot of people. The Yankees, and there's some predictions of who's going to go in the World Series. Some people are predicting that the Dodgers and the Yankees will play in the World Series. Dodgers in 6. I say the Dodgers in 5, but we'll talk about that another day because, the minute I say that, Naughty can start calling us one route. But yesterday, just looking at what went down yesterday, the Dodgers won 8-2. And my excitement about the Dodgers win last night is my rookie, Outman. He's playing center field. He had his first home run yesterday. Now, the other rookie was the second baseman. We had two rookies starting, Miguel Vargas, who incidentally spent 3 years in the Bahamas when he first defected from Cuba and really played with, I think I want to say elite baseball, but don't quote me on that one. But I have an opportunity to work out with Bahamians, an opportunity to work out here. So he got a little bit of Bahamian blood in him. But he was on base, and then Outman, the next rookie, hit a home run last night. Then the Dodgers get some J.D. Martinez, hit a couple of bases. Will Smith, who the real Will Smith, had a couple of hits, 3 hits yesterday and a bunch of RBIs. But the game that the people talked about yesterday was the Yankees game where Garrett Cole came in and he struck out the first 6 batters he faced. The first 6 batters he faced, he struck out. He pitched a gem. And when they say pitch a gem, he pitched a shutout, pitched a gem of a game last night. 5 yesterday afternoon, the first game of the season. Yesterday afternoon. And of course, the saying in New York is, here comes the judge. Here comes all rise. Here comes the judge. And Aaron Judge hit a home run yesterday in the first inning, the first at bat for the year. And he hit a home run yesterday for the New York Yankees. So a lot of Yankee fans are excited about that. A couple of other games. I see the Atlanta Braves beat the Washington Nationals. Interesting game. The National League East had American League East had a division last year where a lot of teams were in the money to make the play. Boston was in the Baltimore, the Toronto, Tampa Bay, Toronto, and the Yankees all in the money. And Boston made a little run. But last night, the Orioles was all over Boston, a 10-9 game. The Brewers got shut out 4-0 by the Cubs. Now, my former Dodger, Cody Bellinger, is starting for the Cubs last night, and he went 0 for 3 with a strikeout last night. He's starting in center field for them. And Cody's not going to bat much. I hope he turns his bat around, but he's a great glove. Great glove. And we got the Mets and the Marlins. Jazz, I think Jazz got struck out twice yesterday. Was it twice? Don't quote me on that. Yeah, he got struck out twice. He went 0 for 4 yesterday. But he had an error in center field. But it's a work in progress in him because he's the second baseman. So they got him starting in center field. So I don't expect him to come out there and rave reviews right away. But I expect him as a great athlete, which he is, very athletic, to adapt to it, to learn the center field. Because center field is he's got the speed for it. He's got a lot of speed. He's got the speed for it. But center field is a lot of space to cover. And it takes him in terms of running angles and reading the ball well and actually directing the left field and the right field as well. So it's a work in progress for him. And I hope it works out because love to see him in LA and we need a center fielder. So if it works out, trade him. Pittsburgh Pirates beat the Cincinnati Reds 5-4. The small market teams, they usually play a lot of great baseball early. And then when August comes down, you see the depth of the team isn't like that because they can't afford to bring in a lot of players. So they have a lot of young players. So they'll fail. Toronto Blue Jays. I watched this game last day. Toronto, and after meeting Bo Bichette when he came here a couple of years and won the home run derby, a couple of times, I was able to meet Bo Bichette. And so an opportunity to talk to him. And Dante Bichette's dad played for the Dodgers as well. So anytime I see the Blue Jays play, if I don't watch my Dodgers, I watch the Blue Jays and see what they did. And it was I think a team scored in every inning except the 5th inning. And after the 5th inning, it was like Blue Jays were they was back and forth all the way to the game. And it was a really, really good game. I think Bo Bichette had a great day. Went 4 for 6. He scored 2 runs, had an RBI. And I was telling my friend when we was watching the game yesterday, I said, bro, in watching these games, I am Bo Bichette, I saw Dante Bichette play. Then you let Vladimir Guerrero, and I saw his dad play, Vladimir Guerrero Sr. play for the Dodgers as well. And then Craig Biggio, son, batted. Craig Biggio played back in the day, played second base for the Houston Astros back in the day. So it's kind of interesting when you hear these names come up and you look up and say, hey, I remember when his dad played. So Bo Bichette had a good day. Vladimir Guerrero he went 2 for 4 yesterday with 3 RBIs. So it was a lot of scoring yesterday. And it was a pretty good game. And then the next game I watched yesterday before the Dodgers game was the Houston Astros and the Chicago White Sox, which was an interesting game. And that was the debut of the White Sox rookie manager. So that was like the first game that he ever managed. And he was able to get a win yesterday. It was a pretty good game. It was a real pitched game, a really good pitched game, and it was good. I like it. And you know, we Dodger fans, we call it the Astros the cheaters, because they're the ones that cheated us, and I still believe they cost us a World Series, and we should have had 2 World Series and not 1 in the last few years. The Angels, and Oshani, even though they lost the game, Oshani pitched a pretty good game yesterday, and he was able to get his pitch up. Yeah, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 hits, with 10 Ks in 6 innings, and I think he got a pitch up to 101 miles an hour last night. But that was a well-pitched game last night as well. That was a really good pitch game. Oakland used a bunch of pitch. I think they used 5 pitches yesterday, just to hold that game. And early in the season, I mean, you could do that because, you know, we'll see what happens. And hopefully the guys just come in and want to work out. And then basketball last night, it was a beatdown of the beatdowns last night. The Boston Celtics went into Milwaukee and beat, when I'm talking about beat Milwaukee Bucks right down 140-99. And then the Denver Nuggets hosting the Pelicans, lost to the Pelicans, and I was really pissed about that because that hurts my Lakers in the playoff hunt. Pelicans beat the Nuggets 107-88. And then the NIT Championship, I told you the NIT Championships were last night. In the NIT Championship, North Texas, that was a good game. It was a really good game. And now, North Texas, I forget what I think they from I want to say the Mid-America Conference. Don't quote me on that, but they've won the tournament. And then you've got another team that won a third tier tournament. And then Florida Atlantic is in the NCAA and if they win, that'll be the first time a conference has had three teams win the 3 major college basketball tournaments, or the 3 basketball tournaments at the end of the season. And then again, that was an exciting game yesterday, and NIT is now finished. NHL last night, and there's a team called the Boston Bruins that is running through the league. They look like they cannot lose a game. They're beating up on everybody. They took the Blue Jackets 2-1 last night. The Flyers lost to the Senators. The Rangers lost to the Devils. The Florida Panthers beat the Canadians. And the LA Kings lost 2-0 to the Edmonton Oilers. And I think Edmonton got their kid McDavid, who is like a phenomenal hockey player. So that's what happened yesterday. And today, we got some good stuff coming up today, and we'll talk more about it in a little bit. Mrs. Blue, could we take our first break yet? Ready for another one? Okay, Mr. Blue says I can't go nowhere, I got to talk some more. But in looking at what's happening today in Major League Baseball, now, yesterday they get you spoiled. They started the first game at 1 o'clock, so you're all excited. Now you turn on the TV looking to see baseball, and the first game isn't at 6 o'clock tonight. And then you got the Mets. You got the Mets at the Marlins tonight. The Marlins threw their ace last night, and he lost. But the Mets got Peterson against Lazaro tonight. That's going to be an interesting game. The White Sox back in Houston tonight. White Sox throwing Lynn Javier is throwing for Houston. The Colorado Rockies will be at the San Diego Padres. And you got Kirk Freeland is pitching for, and the Padres get Martinez. Padres, everybody think the Padres could take the Dodgers. They're in for a rude awakening. And then the last game, the nightcap at 10-10, well, not the last game, but the 10-10 game, the Cleveland Guardians will be at the Seattle Mariners. And of course, my Dodgers will be hosting the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight at 10 o'clock, 10-10. And Arizona's throwing Kelly and Dustin May, the big redhead is coming for the Dodgers. He was having a great season last year, a really good season, and then he got hurt. And then when he came back in the end of August, September, he didn't have the confidence. When you come back off an injury, it takes a while, so he didn't have the confidence. So I'm looking for him to have a good bounce back today, and really, really be there and be out there to do NBA action tonight. Now, the playoff pictures is shaping up quite well in the NBA, and I getting a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie. I getting scared. But let's look. You got the Milwaukee Bucks already clinched. And they got a 2-game lead over Boston. I think there's about 5 more games left. So I think if they win 3 out of the next 5 of Boston, they'll clinch home court all the way through. So you already got Milwaukee in the playoffs. You had the Boston Celtics in the playoffs. The Philadelphia 76ers already playoff, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Those 4 teams already clinched for the Eastern Conference. And then you got the Knicks in 5th place. You got the Nets in 6th place. And those 2, if they stay that, they will be guaranteed a first-round playoff. And then you get the play-in game, the play-in teams winning for the play-in, which is 7, 8, 9, 10. So you get the Heat in 7, the Hawks in 8, the Raptors in 9th, and the Chicago Bulls at 10. So if the season ends today, that will be in the playoffs. The Heat will host the Bulls. The Hawks will host the Toronto Raptors. And then whoever wins the Heat Bulls game, they'll play number 1 place. And then you got the Wizards about a game and a half out, and you got the Pacers about 3.5 games out. So they pretty much going to be eliminated in another day. The Hornets already been eliminated. The Detroit Pistons eliminated. Now, when you look at the Western Conference, where the Lakers are at, the Denver Nuggets already clinched the playoff spot. Memphis Grizzlies has clinched the playoff spot, and the Sacramento Kings have clinched the playoff spot. So those are 3. Then you got the Phoenix Suns are in 4th place. The Clippers are in 5th place, and then the Golden State Warriors are in 6th place. Now, what makes this interesting is, and looking at it, you got the Pelicans are in 7th place. They're only a game behind the Warriors for the 6th place spot. And so are the Minnesota Timberwolves, a game behind. And then you got the Lakers a game and a half. And then you get the Thunder 2 games behind. So you got let's go back. You got Denver in 1st, Grizzlies in 2nd, Kings in 3rd, Suns in 4th, Clippers in 5th, Warriors in 6th. And then you got the play-in games. So Pelicans, if the season ends tonight, the Pelicans will host the Thunder. Timberwolves will host the Lakers. And Timberwolves and Lakers got pretty much the same record, but Timberwolves beat them the last time. So Lakers got the Timberwolves tonight. To beat the Timberwolves tonight, the Lakers will move up into 8th place, and they'll be sitting. I think they're moving to 7 because I think when it comes to the home court, when it comes to head-to-head, they got the tiebreaker with the Pelicans, so they can move up into 7th place and be sitting in a pretty good position. If they can win out, and I say win the rest of their games, they could be in a pretty good position in terms of how they finish. And then who the Lakers got for the rest of the season? They got Timberwolves. They had Minnesota tonight. They go to Houston. If they can't beat Minnesota, they get to Houston. The Houston beat them the last time, so they owe them 1. They got the Jazz. They at the Jazz. They at LA Clippers, so they home basically, and then they close out with the Suns and the Jazz at home. So the Lakers could win 3 out of these 5 games, or even 4 of these 5 games. I think they'll sit pretty good, and they'll be all right in terms of making the playoffs. Now, how far they go? There was an interesting story on ESPN saying whether the Warriors or the Lakers could win the NBA, could win the West this year. And don't put it past either of those teams. And as much as I don't like LeBron, as much as he make me mad, as much as I want to throw a big rock at him, if they get on a roll, and I like the team that's made up, I like that Laker team that's made up. If they get on a roll, they could scare some people. You saw what Golden State did last year. Golden State wasn't expected to be there, didn't people? And they put it together at the end of the season. And sometimes it ain't what you do all season, it's what you do when the playoffs come around. Because I always say the NFL is 2 seasons. It's the regular season and the playoff season. Because you're playing almost as much games in the playoffs, playing a whole lot of games. But if they could get in and peak and taking Liberty's name, I don't like calling his name. LeBron has pretty much been sitting along, so he should have fresher legs. He shouldn't be as tired. And if he can stay, and if AD can stay healthy, they can give you a pretty good run. And then if Wiggins comes back to Golden State, and Golden State starts get that chemistry together, that could be an interesting thing. And then you cannot sleep on the Suns because KD is back. He was a little rusty in Game 1. I think he went 5 for 21 or something like that. So he didn't shoot that well. He had a rough time, but he hasn't played for a few times. He usually played 3 games in probably the last couple of months. So he needs to get his what do you call it, sea legs in there. Start getting some works out, getting more playing time. And then I think at the end of the day, they're the team to worry out. They're the team to worry about coming out of the West. So I'm interested to see what goes on there. I'm interested to see who they're playing tonight. Are they playing tonight? Look at the NBA games for tonight. We'll go over them in a little bit. There are a lot of games playing tonight. And it might be kind of interesting to see what happens there. We'll go over them just before we close up and we do Northeast picks. What's going on in the NFL? I don't like what they're doing to Lamar Jackson. And a lot of people who may not be up to what's going on and understand what's going on there. The real thing is, and I can be the conspiracy theorist here. He is his own manager. He's his own agent, I should say. He's his own agent. Now think about it. If I sign a $100 million contract, and as the agent, I get this little, I want to say 10% or 15%, whatever the amount is, I stand to lose a lot of money if I don't have, if I stand not to make any money if I'm not Lamar Jackson's agent. And what he's going to do, and what he's doing, he's fighting for future, somebody said this earlier today, he's fighting for future players that are able to get what they're worth. Get what they, and he stands on principle, and I won't be surprised. I will not be surprised if the brother sits out this year. It will not surprise me. But I hope it doesn't happen because he's a great talent you like to see play. But what happens is when he signs his contract, he get all this money. She ain't got to give no agent a thing. And I think a lot of agents are afraid of that. A lot of teams are also afraid of that in terms that they have to be dealing with players who may not be as versed or as versed or as knowledgeable on what it is to negotiate a contract, what it is to sit down and talk about it. Because just not when you have an agent, the agent can tell you the real story. Man, yo, Earl, you dropped 3 passes last year, so you can't be telling people think you was a perfect catch, man. So agent will do that, but when you represent yourself, and you believe in yourself, you can hold firm. You can hold firm on that argument. You can hold firm on the fact that you want the money you're gonna get. I don't know if he's gonna get all that guaranteed money. I think with those other guys and Deshaun Watson kind of put everybody in a bad place, and I think owners are gonna try to hold firm. And I don't have a problem with not getting all the guaranteed money. Understanding injuries stop things from happening, but I think they're trying to blackball Lamar. I think they're trying to hold him out because I think a lot of agents may have something to do with that. But he's having conversations, some things that happen. I think some offers are being made. I think the Jets are a team, and they're talking about the Patriots will be offer Matt Jones, and a second round pick. And some people say that ain't enough. Because he's worth 2 first round picks and maybe 2 first rounds and a second round pick. If New England is serious, New England said Matt Jones, because Matt Jones ain't gonna be there forever. Matt Jones, first round and second round pick or something. Matt Jones and 2 second round picks or something. But I think people are trying to lowball the Baltimore Ravens, knowing because Lamar Jackson wants out. They're trying to lowball him because Lamar Jackson don't want to be there. So they don't have much of a bargaining tool per se, if you look at it that way. So I don't like what they're doing to Lamar, but if he sticks it to Baltimore, they deserve it and they can get what they can get. And it won't hurt me, it won't bother me, and it won't surprise me at all if the brother sits out this year. If the brother decides that, hey, I'm not playing this year on principle. My only concern with him doing that is that he could have the Colin Kaepernick effect and get shut down, and then any problems then, So it'll be interesting to see. The hottest topic is everybody's looking at this kid out of the University of Florida. I think it was I won't call him Anton Richardson. Yes, Anthony, not Anton. I was going to say Anton is our people. Anthony Richardson. He had his pro day yesterday and blew the scouts and the coaches away. This guy, I played for a school that didn't throw a lot. They ran the ball a lot. Nobody knew what he had. But in terms of the raw quarterback talent, the arm, the rocket arm, he can run. He is a Lamar Jackson. He's a Lamar Jackson in terms of the running ability and all that, but he has a much better, he's like a Dan Marino type arm. He can throw the ball. He's going to be interesting to see. I don't think he is quite ready. I don't think he's there just yet to start as a rookie. He's not like the kid, the other 2 kids. He's not like the kid from Alabama or the kid from Ohio State. I think he's not ready. He's not quite like them yet because the kid from Alabama, I think, will start right away. Brian Harper will start right away. But Richardson, I think, needs a year or 2 under. And if I think Garoppolo is going where he's interested to take 2 years there, learn the system, work under Garoppolo. I think the Panthers are looking at it. I think the Panthers saying Garoppolo. work under him, learn the system, and in a couple of years, the brother will be ready to take over. He is going to be phenomenal. He's going to, if he stays healthy and he works at what he needs to work at, he is going to be the quarterback of the ages. He's going to be, I'm excited about it. So he'll be good. Hopefully Lamar Jackson be good. And then you talk about it again, I got to bring up my Miami Dolphins. I don't want people to think I forget who the Dolphins are and what the Dolphins are doing. And the Dolphins gave 2 his 5th-year option, means to say that they're not, I don't see any chance of Lamar Jackson coming to Miami. I don't see them building that kind of trade-off. And I say why. 2 had better stats than Jackson last year. Better quarterback rating, more yards. Yeah, of course, Jackson had more rushing yards than him, much more. But in terms of the quarterback skills and the quarterback numbers and all that, he did really well. He did a lot better than Jackson. I would not trade him anyway. I have a lot of confidence in him, and I think with the Dolphins are putting together, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easy for him to stay right there in in Miami. Sorry. What else going on? And let's just go back to Richardson. Everybody is really bigging up this guy and the arm he is showing. Anybody remember that referee Bill Levy from the NFL? I don't know why I can remember a referee. I don't know why I remember a referee, but he passed, at 76. There's some referees that were really good, and people talked about them a lot, so you get to know them. Then Bill Belichick made a statement the other day, asking him, and why I thought it'd be funny is, he always tell his players, don't worry about what you did in the past. You're now in the NFL. I don't care what you did back there. It's not what you can do for me now. And then people used to ask him why he thinks that what he's going to do with the Patriots this year is going to bring success. And he say the last 25 years. So he kind of contradicts himself. So people are all over his case about that. All right. I see Marvin Jones rejoined the Lions for 1 year, $3 million, $3 million contract. I guess he's going to try bet on himself and see what happens there. So it'll be interesting to see. What else is happening? NBA. Let's get on to the NBA. Let's see who's going on tomorrow, who's playing tonight, and let's get some picks in there. I know it's brought to us by Island Games Sportsbook. So get your parlays, get the Island Games, sign up, pick your parlays, win a couple of dollars. I still mad at them because I'm in $100,000. But like I said, my brackets were screwed up the very first quarter of the first game. But tonight, who's playing tonight in the NBA? Let's see our picks. Okay. The Chicago Bulls and the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte got one of the worst records. I see Michael Jordan getting ready to sell it. He must be that fed up. The Bulls playing for the playoff lives. The Bulls are hustling. The Bulls are good. They beat us Sunday night. We had to come back and spank them Wednesday night. But I picked the Bulls over the Hornets to bounce back from the loss. And I think I'll go with the spread of 11, minus 11. This is going to be a pretty good game because also Toronto Raptors are battling for their playoff lives. And Toronto's is at the 76ers in Philadelphia. Fortunately, the Sixers will teach them a lesson tonight. I picked the Sixers. I'll take the spread on that on minus 4.5. Orlando Magic at the Washington Wizards. Stay away from this game. I wouldn't bet on this game if my life depended on it. They're playing at 7 o'clock. And these are all the 7 o'clock games, incidentally. Magic at the Washington Wizards. I can stay away from that. Oklahoma Thunder at the Indiana Pacers. Now, Oklahoma is a favorite. I think Buddy is overdue. Klay Thompson is now leading. And we say two behemoths leading the NBA in 3-point. I think Buddy's going to come back and show his behemoth partner that he really should be leading the. So I picked the Pacers to upset the Thunder tonight. The Knicks at the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm concerned Randall is out. I think he's going to be out 2 weeks. That's going to hurt the Knicks. They need him. He's their lifeblood. I picked Cleveland. I'd take the spread. I think Cleveland would match the spread. Atlanta Hawks at the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets are such disarray. The Hawks it's going to be a close game. That's the 7:30. Again, at 7:30, Utah Jazz and the Boston Celtics. Celtics coming off a real high of a cut, a beat down, a punch down. They said he beat them to powder, but they beat the Milwaukee Bucks to powder last night. So I think they're going to carry that high straight on in and all over the Jazz tonight. And I pulling hard for them tonight. Let's go. Detroit at Houston, the Clippers at the Grizzlies, Sacramento Kings, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Spurs at the Golden State Warriors, and the Denver Nuggets at the Phoenix Suns. Mr. Producer, tell me I run out of time. I'm running on too long. We got right at the last 10, and they're talking about what's going on between the Raiders and the Colts. It has been so much fun being here for the last 3 days. I hope I did well. I hope I held on for Naughty, and I hope Naughty calls me back again. Have fun. Have a great weekend. Don't forget the high school flag football tomorrow. Make sure you check it out. There's some flag football on Sunday. And if you haven't gotten your Carifta tickets yet, hurry up, get those Carifta tickets. Let's support Team Bahamas. It's been fun. Kermie, I had a good time. A good time being here with you. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Talking Heads with Naughty. I'm Pearly. I'm out of here.
When I got prostate cancer, my family didn't know if I was going to live. At Cancer Treatment Centers of America, within days, I got an appointment. They presented me with treatment options, and we set up a robotic prostatectomy. When my scans came back, there are no signs of cancer. They don't see you as a number, they see you as a part of the family. I'm going on with my life. It's a real gift.
Call us at Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Anthony Richardson Pro Day today, the fourth and final pro day of one of the first round quarterbacks. We're expecting 4 of them, and we can get 4 of them in a row. Who knows? We might get a 5th later on. I don't know.
Rich Eisen, have you seen some of these throw videos yet?
I have seen some of the throw videos from Anthony Richardson, and we knew it would be impressive. We knew he would look impressive. He did at the combine. And all that was just 3 straight throws in a row to guys he didn't know in drills he hadn't run yet, and then get to the back of the line and then show up about 3 minutes later, do it again, and that would be the end of the drill for most parts. Now you're seeing 45, 50, 60 throws by him in his home spot, and he just looks the part. He does. And we heard the other day from Frank Reich saying that his tape has first overall screaming all over it. And he is really, really enticing. It's just that he didn't have the wins and the losses. And we asked him about that last month, right after, or is it still earlier this month when he was on the Monday after the combine that he, blew up with his performance. And he had an interesting response to that about how it's a team game and that shouldn't be held against him. And you could seek it out on our YouTube page or the Rich Eisen Show collection page right here on the Roku channel. It's our video on demand service. The question is does he supplant C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young? And that's a tall order, one would think.
Or who's going to 3 to get him?
Now you're talking, Christopher, because this is the O. Henry-like plot twist to the pro day week that started 2 Mondays ago, or 2 Tuesdays ago, I guess, is when C.J. Stroud went first, and then the next day Bryce Young went, and the day after that Will Levis went. And each time we saw the Carolina Panthers brass hug it out. I think C.J. Stroud won the DAP contest. He got the most DAP from the Carolina Panthers staff, including a hot mic picking up quarterbacks coach Josh McCown, telling him about, finding a place for him. Was it to play golf or something? When he gets a place in Charlotte? That was the phrase. When you get a place in Charlotte. It's a hot mic that caught him saying that. And then, of course, the night before, the Tepper family and everyone else took the prospects out to dinner. C.J. Stroud dinner, night before C.J. Stroud Pro Day, and then night of the C.J. Stroud Pro Day, fly to Alabama to take out Bryce Young to dinner, and then Bryce Young's Pro Day, night of that, fly to Kentucky to take Will Levis out to dinner. Well, last night, there was no dinner for the Panthers and Anthony Richardson. They just had a flat-out meeting. It's because he had a different dinner date. His dinner was with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, baby.
Now talk about a little plot twist.
Oh, baby.
Now then.
Come on.
Don't know. You can have 2 dinners. I mean, look, the guy the guy.
Hey, he's a growing young man.
He's a growing young man.
I mean,
you know, I'm just going to have. He doesn't strike me as that. I'll just have some bread here and a drink and then move on to the next spot. That's the way I would have handled it. But I'm also a 53-year-old man who can't run. I'm assuming he just had a meeting with them and then he had the sit-down dinner with the Raiders.
Yes.
The spring wind is a seafood tower. I'll have the steak. I'll have the steak sandwich and the steak sandwich. So here you go. Yes. The Raiders took him out to dinner. And boy, does that just fascinate me. Now, how did this happen? First things first. What does this mean for the draft? Are they thinking of moving up to 3 to go get Anthony Richardson? Because if they move up to 3,
please do it.
Then the Cardinals just move down to 7, and I think the Cardinals would be just fine with that if they could just stockpile picks.
One of their top defenders anyway.
Because, again, if it goes quarterback 4 straight picks to start the draft, then the Seahawks have the first overall pick in this draft. They do. Then they have anybody that's not a quarterback. And clearly, you know, you heard when Pete Carroll joined us on this show a couple of weeks ago saying that they are absolutely in the market of kicking tires on the quarterbacks and looking at all the quarterbacks because they don't plan on picking 5 again anytime soon. So maybe you do take a look-see, but they might have to trade up to get one of these guys. Do they move up the 2 spots? Because the Raiders are having dinner with Richardson, and they don't want to be beaten out on like once Jimmy G is all done with his tenure there.
And then look, you can even start Jimmy G. Say Jimmy G makes it through the whole year this year healthy. You can even start him next year. And then if he gets off to a slow start, you're 2-4, whatever, bam. Kid sat for a year, he's ready to go.
And then there's Devontae Adams and our friend from yesterday, Jacoby Myers, and everyone else.
Everybody else.
And then you want to take a battle. You want a battle position in the AFC West with Herbert and Mahomes and Russell. You got yourself your difference maker with a huge ceiling in Anthony Richardson. I kind of dig it. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern for free.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. Whatever the occasion, John's is confident you will find what you're looking for among our always growing collection of amazing and trendy styles. We cover women, men, children, the whole family. Together with John's great prices and helpful and friendly customer service, your experience in shopping with us will be time well spent. Too busy to come in store? Shop with us online, www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on in today at John's, where we put fashion at your feet.
Experience the pure deliciousness of Dunkin's Glazed Donut Breakfast Sandwich. This sweet and savory breakfast treat stacks a fluffy egg and smoked bacon, sandwiched inside a split classic Dunkin' Glazed Donut. Make it a combo with lightly seasoned hash browns and your favorite freshly brewed Dunkin' coffee. Stop by your favorite Dunkin' today and take breakfast to a fun and tasty level with the Dunkin' Glazed Donut Breakfast Sandwich. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
Every Thursday until April 6th between 5 and 6 p.m. is Come Gold With Us Thursdays. Follow us and like our Facebook page, 50th Carifta 2023. Then keep a lookout for our team and get a chance to win a golden ticket and many, many more giveaways for the 50th Carifta Games